everyone to another episode of Fey Fitness. Today I'm going to show you a great beginner level core exercise called a single leg toe tap. It's super easy and I think it's a lot of fun, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. But let's go ahead and dive right in. So for this exercise we'll be laying on our back. For me, I'm just going to go ahead and do it on my hardwood floor, but if you want to put down a yoga mat or do it on carpet, that's fine. So we're just going to lay on our back. And I wore a super bright top today so you can see kind of what's going on with my hips and my abdominal cavity, because we want to kind of think about a few things while we're working our abs to get the most bang for our buck. The legs have the easiest job. We just bring them up into tabletop. If you've never done it before, dorsiflex the feet, aka point the toes towards the sky. Once you get a little bit more advanced, you can pointer flex the feet. But basically your feet are just going to move down, tap the ground, and then back to tabletop. So they're staying in that tabletop position, and all of the activity is coming from our abs, pardon me. So a couple things you want to think about when we're talking about our abs for this exercise is, first of all, hip placement. So we want our hips to be in either a neutral, like mine are, or imprint, which hopefully you can see that difference on camera. It's a small movement, so again, that's why I'm trying to wear bright colors so you can really see the difference. So if your hips are in a neutral position, say I came over and sat a glass of water on my hips, everything would be nice and level and calm, or say like if I set a bowl of water, everything would be nice and level. And if I move into imprint, I'm basically rolling my hips towards my lower ribs. And so that bowl or that bottle of water would spill onto my stomach. And for you, imprint might feel better as opposed to neutral. And the main thing you just want to think about is staying in that position throughout the movement. So as the legs are up in tabletop and dorsiflexed, I'm not falling in and out of neutral and imprint as the legs are moving. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The second thing you want to keep in mind is, for some people during this movement, the ribs are going to want to flare out and up. We really want to focus on trying to knit the ribs together and bring the ribs in towards our core and towards our spine. And what that's going to do is it forces our deep abdominal muscles to engage, which is really where we get the most bang for our buck. We want to engage surface and deep abdominals. So if the ribs flare out, the surface muscles will still work, but we're not really effectively engaging those deep core muscles. So by knitting the ribs down, and again, I'm overly exaggerating, so hopefully you can see, but we really want to focus on knitting the ribs down and kind of bringing these lower ribs inward and down towards the back of our spine. So that's just going to help engage the low abs. And hopefully, if you were to say do this and practice this movement, you can feel as the ribs knit down, those low abs or those deep abs engaging. And if not, that's okay. You can leave me a comment down below and I'll kind of walk you through that in more detail. So basically, we've picked either neutral or imprint, whichever feels more comfortable for you. We've knitted our ribs down. Now we're going to bring our legs into tabletop. And basically, tabletop is a fancy way of saying we have a 90-degree between our calf and our thigh, and between our thigh and our hips. Biomechanically for you, that might be like a little different, but we just basically, this is the general shape. So again, to be easier, we're going to dorsiflex, and then using our abs, we're going to lower that leg to tap the heel to the ground, tap, and then bring it back up. If you want to add a little bit more intensity, pointer flex, bring that leg down, tap, and then back up. And notice how I'm going so slow. Slow and steady really wins the race, because if you go really fast, A, your form suffers, and then B, you're basically just using the momentum of your legs to perform the movement, and the momentum isn't really working the muscles. So slow and steady, keeping that 90-degree bend as much as humanly possible. So if you feel like you're doing this, we're not really doing it right. I mean, we're getting some ab engagement, I guess, but it's not as effective as if that whole leg comes down and then back up, again, keeping that 90-degree. The other thing you might notice is, because our legs are heavy and in this position, it's a little hard for some people. Your feet might start to sag low,
try to really keep them up. If you have to, I'd rather you have your feet a little higher than at a straight 90, just because again, as you perform this motion, you're gonna start to get tired, and then as you get tired, the feet will droop. So that's just a good way to combat it.
So there you have it, a single leg toe tap. Again, this is great for a beginner or even an intermediate to advanced person, just depending on what you're looking to get out of your fitness routine. I love working with clients and having them do this. But if you have any questions, leave those in the comments down below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next week for another Fey Fitness video. So until then, bye guys! Thank you so much for tuning in today, everyone. If you're new to my channel, please hit that like and subscribe button to stay up to date on all of my content. Otherwise, I will see all of you next week for another Fey Fitness video. So until then, bye!